Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Donna, and today we are doing an open challenge, just our imaginations. We have to use 3 items: caulk, twine, and wooden dowels. The host is Kathy Joe DIY, and the other host is Rusted and Lace DIY, and guest host is Lola's Creations. So here I have a globe heart I got from Dollar Tree. I think oh yeah, it was last year. And then I have this What Happens at Nana's Stays at Nana's Side, and a small wooden dowel. Then I have some embellishments I made out of caulk, which I will be having a video made on that soon. And then I have some red and white twine. So I'm going to take my ballet slipper by Waverly Chalk Paint and give my embellishment a coat of paint. What I love about these is that they are super flexible and you can use it on anything. So that's how I use caulk in this DIY. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. Then I'm going to take my wooden dowel and figure out my measurements. Oh, nope, I'm cutting off the string first. Sorry. Anyhow, now I'm taking my wooden dowel. I'm going to figure out my measurements. And then I'm just going to take my wire cutters and just cut it. Now, I decided to hot glue this on top. It did work in the beginning, but as you'll see through the video, it didn't stay. And eventually, I had to let it sit overnight with a big glob of E6000 because I could not drill a hole in this because you can see it's like a water globe. So, I glued on my wooden dowel, and I'm going to paint it pink. Yes, I know I'm doing everything backwards. This was all planned at the last second because I just joined this challenge. So I'm just giving it a quick coat. What I love about this chalk paint is it dries super quick. So I will set that aside and let it dry. Then I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to wrap it around my corners to cover up these holes and give some detail to my little wooden sign. I am making this for my desk since I'm redoing my craft room and I don't have much decor. This is my little decor I make it for my desk to see my lovely grandson every day. So I'm just going to do all 4 corners. And while I have a chance, if you're new here, I'd like to say welcome to my channel. If you like DIYs, home decor, glam, I'm going to start getting into jewelry and resin, and if you like upcycling, you name it, I do it, just about. Please check out my channel and subscribe if you would like to. And if you can, give me a thumbs up on this video. It really helps me out on YouTube. I would really appreciate it. And if you're one of my subscribers, welcome back, my lovely friends. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're staying warm. It is super chilly here. It was like snowing like a blizzard this morning. This weather has been crazy. Between rain, snow, cold. And actually, I'm crafting in my basement, and it is like really cold down here. That's where my craft room is. I will be having videos coming up on craft room organization and me moving my craft room since we got all the Christmas stuff out of the way. But my next video will be to show you how I made these embellishments. So please hit that bell for notifications so you can be notified when I upload my next videos. And also the link to this playlist for this challenge will be in my description box, so please check out all the wonderful talented ladies videos and sit back and relax and enjoy them and see what everybody comes up with. I wish I had more wooden dowels because I would have did like a wooden ladder and everything else, but I didn't know what the challenge was. So actually, believe it or not, to 2 a.m. this morning, I had all my crafts done, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we have to use 3 products. And I had no clue because I just joined, and this was put into the chat room, and then I had to rethink my whole video over. So you can see my sign fell off again. And I'm trying to get it back on. I've tried many times. You'll see, I eventually just give up. So then I have these little lips from Hobby Lobby last year at Valentine's. So I decided, okay, I'm going to try to use this for support. And it fits right in the groove of the heart. Plus, Nana always gives her grandson kisses. So I put one there, and I'm going to add one to the front. I was just doing the hot glue for like a temporary thing to get it to stay, and then as you'll see, I'll add I used a dollar store Pixel. Is that what it's called? I think it's called, wait a minute, let me see. Oh no, it's a super glue, yeah, dollar store super glue Pixel adhesive. I'm trying to get it to stay still. Believe it or not, it turned out perfect. I let it sit overnight, and it's great. So here I'm going to take the dollar store Pixel adhesive. Make sure my sign is straight here. No, I thought since it said super glue on it, it would dry super quick, but I was wrong. So I'm taking my little pokey tool, which is called a scriber if you're doing bakes or cookies, but if you want to know how to make one of these, I have a tutorial on that, of making these little scribe tools and of making beaded pens. So I'm just adding the adhesive onto it to try to get it to stay. I was doing pretty good. I kept messing with it. So here I am adding some on the back, because I want that to be able to stay too. And I will finish off the back. I didn't right now, but I will, because I want it to look great from the back of my desk. So I'll probably just like put a piece of scrapbook paper or felt over. Probably felt. I'll just cover the back in some felt. So here I'm thinking, okay, I gotta just put this glue down pretty good now. I'm thinking that, so I decided, okay, I'm gonna take this twine here that I got from the dollar store. And the way this part is angled, see, it goes smaller to bigger. I had to prop it up so my sign isn't being pushed off. So I'm just going to take some hot glue around the edge and add my twine to the edge. And I did take a little bit of hot glue on the very end of the twine and twist it so it doesn't fray. And I will do the same thing once I get to the other end. And as you see, it fell off again. I wish this wasn't filled with liquid, but that's okay, because it worked out. It's a matter of me being impatient as always. Crafters are impatient. That's our problem. So I decided, okay, I'm done with this, taking it off, make it easier, and I'm just going to finish gluing on my ribbon just so I can start getting this done. I had enough with that top piece, and it's just going to have to sit overnight with some super glue, the fix-all from Dollar Tree, and just cure until it's completely dried on there, and it will stay. I do recommend the dollar store super glue. The fix-all is just like E6000. If you're on a pinch and you don't feel like running around. So see, I just twisted the end to make sure it doesn't fray, and then I'm just gonna hot glue it in place once I got it all twisted. Then I'm take my little embellishment here that I made, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot glue to it and glue that in place. These, you can use any glue. You can use a hot glue, you can use a fix-all, you can use tacky glue, any type of glue you have. But hot glue is just like that quick fix. And I only tacked it in the middle and then the two very ends. I decided to pull them up so they weren't hanging down on my picture that I'm going to add to it. See how flexible they are? The only problem I had with making these right now, and I will do a video, was it's easier to do it in the summer because the temperature and the molds I use depends on how thick your mold is. It takes longer to dry. Like this didn't take long to dry because this is thin, but I did some really thick embellishments. But I will do a video to show you exactly how I did it and made them super even and level. And they're great to make. Here I am with that sign again. But this is going to be the end of the night, so I can let it dry overnight. I had a big glob of the fix-all. I was done with this sign. It's staying. So I just make sure it's level and even where I want it. And I just prop something behind it. And I'm just going to let it dry overnight. So far, that's what it looks like. Super cute. I'm loving it. Here we are are we the next day? I don't know. No, we're the same night. I'm still messing with it. Now we're at the next day. I decided to take some red Americana paint and some black and make my embellishment a different color in my lips. Because it didn't match the hearts on the sign. It didn't match. It had to match. So I went and put one coat on for now. And see how much darker it is. But since it's not chalk paint, I have to do another coat, which is fine. I'm still collecting different chalk paints. So here we are. I am taking the back of the picture frame paper that came in, and I'm taking a piece of hard scrapbook paper and cutting it out so it'll fit in my picture frame. And as you see there on the left, I have a heart punch. Yes, I still have punches. Have tons of them, which you will see when I do my craft room makeover. So then I was sitting there figuring, okay, how am I going to make sure I have this right? So then I decided to take a piece of wood and take my pen and mark it. And then I just line it up so that way that line will mark on the top of the heart and the very bottom. So I can punch it out. And I tried the hard way. Nope. So it's done. And there's my little grandson's picture, his school picture. Isn't he so adorable? I love him to death. So I'm just trimming my picture, and then I'm going to take some double-sided tape, add on the back of my cardstock. This came in a little Valentine's package. Then I'm going to just take a backing off, add my picture into it. I didn't want I didn't want to ruin my grandson's picture. So I'm just lining it up with the bottom of the picture that I cut. And put the heart around them. And add it to the back of my frame. I am loving this. It's gonna look so cute on my desk every day. So then I'm taking more of that. Let me look at what color that is. That is a red, primary red, Decor Art paint with some black mix, and I'm adding another coat onto my silicone embellishment. It's a little darker, which is going to give it more detail of shading, and will match that heart and the sign better. And then I will do the same thing on the little lips around the edges, just to give it that little shadow effect. And as you see, my picture is laying down on my cutting mat, because I still have to glue it in yet. Now it looks much better now that it has more detail, shading, and the color matches. I'm going to take some more of this twine, and I decide I'm going to make a bow. So I'm just looping the twine back and forth, and I'm just going to wrap it around. Sorry, I went out of frame there. And then I'm just going to hot glue it and stick it on. I decided to put it right above the lips. I was debating where to put it, there or on the sign, but I decided to put it on the lips, right above it. And it looks super adorable. Now we're going to add the picture. Now this isn't like a regular picture frame, so I'm going to take some hot glue around the very edge to hold the cardstock in. And then this project is done. And then we'll move on to the next one. Here I have a wooden dowel that's in a base and a foam cone. I'm going to take some of my Waverly chalk paint and I'm going to paint my base and my wooden dowel that's in it. This was already made, came from another craft I had. So I'm going to give it a quick coat so it can dry while I'm doing this project. So for right now, I'm just like brushing it on, but I hate brush strokes. So as you see, now I start dabbing, and that's what I do. Dabbing the paint, one, you don't have brush strokes, and two, it actually gives it some detail and makes the paint thicker. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. And then we're going to work on the next part. Here I have a fork and some string I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to put the string down and then I wrapped it around 25 to 30 times. Then I'm going to bring my string through the middle of my fork. I'm going to tie it and then pull it off and then pull it tight and then tie it in a knot. And then just cut off the ends and then run my scissors through the loops and cut them off and make like little pom-poms. If you have any pieces of string that are longer, you can just trim them off like I am here and fluff it out. But for video's sake, actually a long time ago, last year, I made a whole bunch of them. I was sitting around watching TV, and I had two different types of yarn that I got at Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to take my cone and put some hot glue around the end, and I'm going to alternate between the light pink and the darker pink. And I love how this yarn is, because you see, it's ombre. And then I have some little diamond rhinestones, gems that I got from Dollar General that came in a huge pack for $5. And I'm going to use them to put in the middle of my little pom-poms. And I'm just going to go around, keep alternating my colors around the bottom. I will do the first two rows with you guys just so I can show you. And then I will finish the rest off camera and come back to when I get towards the top. Here I'm using my hands, but I do decide to grab my little tool. It's like a little wax tool. I really recommend getting one of them. They come off Amazon. Makes it so much easier to pick them up. See, now I got my tool going super fast. So we got our first row done, and then we're going to do our second row, but we're going to go in between the two. So that way we're all set. And we're just going to go all the way around and then do the same thing. Add our little diamond gemstone. I actually really love this tree. It turned out really pretty. You'll see at the end. And at the final reveal. Okay, so I'm going to finish this one up with you on camera and move on and then come back and we'll finish it up. Last year I did a rose petal Valentine's tree. If you're interested in that, I have a video on that. So each year I think I'm doing a different tree. So here we are. Now we're going to finish the top. Just add some hot glue, alternating my colors. And if your colors end up too close together, like the same color, like they were there, I just pushed it across, over, so I can add in, so I still have the alternating colors of the light pink and the darker pink ombre yarn. And then I just take the hot glue and I just cover the top, the rest of the foam on the top, and added 4 more, and then 1 in the center. Add a dab of glue in the center of each pom-pom, and then I'm add my little rhinestone, 1 in the top, and then 1 on each side. And here's my beautiful little ombre tree that I made for Valentine's. I'm going to take the bottom, since I have extra pom-poms, and I'm going to coat the bottom all the way around too. It actually looks really good with the bottom done, because it makes the tree look really full and like a real tree. And then I just added a glob of glue in the center hole and added my wooden dowel into it. Now I have this Hugs and Kisses sign from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to take the same ombre yarn that I got from Hobby Lobby last year, which they have it every year. And I'm just going to wrap it around the top. This is going to be a quick, easy little DIY. Wanted all the match and go together. It looks funny with the fork sitting there. Oh. So I have these little gems I got at Hobby Lobby last year. Some hearts. And I decided to add them on, but then I changed my mind, if you'll see later. I decided to do like a pink and a little red one. But then I forgot about that I had the lips. And I wanted the lips. But here I want to take one of these little pom-poms, because I want everything to match. And I'm going to add a little pom-pom on top of my little jar here. I was going to do a bigger rhinestone, but it didn't look right. And I'm glad I checked before I glued it on. So then I decided just to grab the same size, because I wanted to match, since this is what I'm doing this year for Valentine's. So it's super cute so far. Not done yet though. I decided to take some of my yarn. I was going to try to do a bow this way, and I'm like, why am I going to do that when I have my fork sitting there? So then I just take my yarn and I just wrap it around my fork. And then I just take it and wrap it around the center. And then cut it off and glue it on the back. Quick, easy little bow. And then I decide I'm going to put it on top of my flower just like that. Glue it into place. Adorable so far. And then here's where I decided, okay, I want to add these lips. But I thought it would be way too much. But I really want the lips because it says kisses on it. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to pop these hearts off. And I want the lips there. But I had to pop the other one off because it was red. So I had to put a smaller pink one on the other side and then the red lips on this side. And now it looks way much better. Super quick little DIY. And here's the final reveal. What happens at Nana's stays at Nana's. And hugs and kisses from Nana. And my beautiful little tree. It isn't that bright. It looks really bright in here, in this video. There's my little sign, and the hugs and kisses. And then my tree. Thank you.